Thank you very much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. Let's get right into it because there is plenty to track out there. Now, of course, thinking of those being impacted still by Helene and the incredible amounts of rain in the bad sense of the term incredible over toward parts of the mid-Atlantic southeast United States. We're watching John over here near Mexico, a disturbance not organized but riding into the Caribbean, and then watching this, that could become a Joyce, and then up here that is Isaac. In another area back behind it, we are at the peak of hurricane season, no doubt. It is very active, but a spot I'm watching in particular is right here, once again, near the Cayman Islands, near Jamaica, that may develop in just a few days. Kind of a copycat scenario, a very similar to scenario to, at least initially, to what we saw with Helene. This is the spot to watch. There's so much going on, but I like to stay focused on kind of what's next and what could impact folks because I do this for safety. So this area in here, by the time we get into early next week, may develop. So just a few days from now, the American model, the European, and the Canadian model all show some, if not significant, development of this spot here. The Icon model, not so much. It kind of hints at the buildup of moisture, but we're going to see rain build here, and then at least initially, once again, it looks like this area, whatever tries to develop, will lift its way either up toward Belize and the Yucatan of Mexico, or just right up into the Gulf of Mexico and close to the western end of Cuba again. So it looks like a repeat scenario to start. What happens down the road, the environment will be different. I don't just look at the models, the environment will be different. So I want to get into that in just a moment. Let's swing back here. Our friends over toward parts of North Carolina, parts of South Carolina hit hard, parts of North Carolina. Upwards of 20 inches of rain, heavy rain in Kentucky, Tennessee, South Carolina was dealing with the tornado threat. This rolled right through Georgia. So still watching Helene, still tropical storm impacts, the flooding horrible. We could all relate to tropical systems. We are thinking of the immense flooding and the water rescues that are ongoing with that. Keep me posted what you got going on in the comments. I'll be getting to those throughout the day. We are thinking of you. Now we get back here. We have this disturbance riding through, not very organized, but this is going to add more moisture into the atmosphere right into the Western Caribbean. In this over here, that is John once again still spinning around. You see it there trying to work inland. So let's go out in time now with this potential copycat system, a system very similar that is going to try to develop. So this is today, scattered areas of rain. Here's the moisture that we saw that brought us some rain and storms the last few days, parts of Antigua, Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, Dominica, Barbados, St. Lucia. By tomorrow, this impulse will ride across, and then by Sunday, you see some scattered showers here, but this area that moves across is going to help to build the moisture. Look at the rain kind of building. Even toward Aruba, we had some rain last night. So the moisture just then kind of sits here. Yes, still some areas of heavier rain, Mexico back through Central America, but this is on Monday. On Monday, here's Jamaica. We're going to start to see this area kind of build initially, just like what we saw with Helene. What I'm going to be watching for is the environmental conditions. The water temperatures are very warm, but above our heads, is there dry air? Is there wind shear? All the sciencey stuff I'll leave out, but know that I'm watching everything. But initially, we're going to see some rain build here. So let me expand this out. This is still here on Monday. So this is the American model, which did a really good job with Helene. Of course, the European model was way off. But you see here, as we work our way into Tuesday, once again developing. So this is just days from now, we could see a developing tropical storm again near the Cayman Islands Tuesday into Wednesday. I'm not saying we're getting tropical storm impacts yet, but something is going to try to form. And then eventually Wednesday into Thursday, this is very eerily scary to just how similar this is. Wednesday into Thursday, something may be near the Yucatan Peninsula, western Cuba, and then emerge into the Gulf of Mexico. Now, at this point, what's going to happen? Is it going to do exactly what Helene did? Most likely not. Not that I can't rule that out, because there are fronts this time of year that could draw things back toward Florida, potentially again. But it's a big wait and see. This here is about a week from now. But all eyes are on this because this is close to home. We're not talking about way the heck out there where we have days to watch this. This may be flaring up Monday into Tuesday of next week. Now, I want to show you the Canadian model, which has actually been doing a good job just kind of seeing this at least initially. Now, here's what's left of Helene up here, right? We talked about that. These big feeder bands still bringing us rain. How about us in Jamaica yesterday? We had some big areas of rain and some storms in some spots with those feeder bands into Helene. But here's the Canadian model. Let me stop it here. This is by the time we get into Monday night and early on Tuesday. The moisture starts to build in here. This here is Tuesday morning. Here's Jamaica, Cayman Islands, here's Cuba, here's Nicaragua, and you get over toward Costa Rica and Panama. There's the rain building on Tuesday, just like the American model was showing. And then it starts to flare up and kind of lift to the northwest. Here are the Cayman Islands. So again, the American model took a lot of rain to the Cayman Islands on Thursday. This here is a Wednesday into Thursday. The Canadian model is a little bit more to the west and trying to roll something closer to either Belize or the Yucatan. Now, the Canadian model is a little more aggressive. By Thursday morning, it has this, what most likely is a tropical depression or tropical storm at this point, and then rolling right across the Yucatan and then developing further into a hurricane by the end of the week, sitting somewhere in the southern Gulf of Mexico. Now, this is a week from now. It'll be very high pressures up here. You see that area? That acts like a blocker, so that's why this kind of goes this way instead of shoots directly to the north. But I want to see if this area of high pressure moves away. If it moves away, that will allow this to go to the north. If high pressure stays in control, this would go more off to the west. That is way down the road, but both of these models, both of these major computer models are showing development, and what I'm seeing in the environment right now is that tropical disturbance, right, that I showed you that's moving by, that's going to add the moisture to the atmosphere. So it makes sense that the models are seeing something and trying to develop things. Things are kind of coming together, at least forecast-wise. So all eyes on that in the Caribbean as we go throughout the weekend. I've got you covered. I'm watching that every step of the way. Now we get over here, Guadeloupe, Dominica, Barbados, Trinidad, Grenada. Watching this here, this already looks like it should be classified as a system. We'll see if the National Hurricane Center officially does that, but you see it right there. That's got to be at least a tropical depression at this point. Isaac is up into the North Atlantic, but this here would be Joyce if it does form. So that's just the next name on the list is the J name. So let's go out in time with that. And again, Isaac trying to work its way. It's hard to tell exactly where in Europe the remnants of Isaac may eventually impact. Just monitoring that. Did briefly become a hurricane. It is a hurricane right now, North Atlantic over the water. But you could see Joyce, and I've been watching this for days and days with you, 5, 6, 7 days out. It either kind of falls apart or just kind of curls away. So that's some good news with that, just looking at kind of the big picture here, right? Now, if Joyce curves away, there'll be another system back behind it. Look at that. That will try to develop. But the early indications are that Joyce may kind of carve a path for it and allow that to stay to the north. So there's going to be a lot of development near the coast of Africa. Hopefully that stays over the water. But once again, as we get into the end of next week, you see something in the Gulf of Mexico. This is what's coming out of the Caribbean. Not sure if it will become truly a tropical storm or hurricane, but there is definitely the possibility of some sort of hurricane developing again, similar kind of starting point as Helene. Now the area that may become Joyce, we'll see, looks to all the models have it making a curve. There's a front up to the north, so it makes sense that that would stay away from us in the Caribbean. So just going over things, we have Helene out there that is trying to wind down with tons of rain. Isaac, which is in the North Atlantic as a hurricane. Joyce is the next name on the list, and then Kirk after that. So the next couple of names, Joyce and Kirk, and then if we get down the road, Leslie, Milton, and Nadine. We're starting to kind of cruise through the list of names, unfortunately, because of just all the activity we've had of late. Sometimes the atmosphere has a little more moisture, and we're in a very active period now in over about the next 2 to 3 weeks. Here's John over toward parts of Mexico. John still kind of a significant, well, it's still obviously a significant system, not quite a hurricane, but winds at about 65, just kind of hugging the coast with lots of rain here into southern Mexico, and then it should fall apart. We'll see if it does eventually want to redevelop, and not ruling anything out on John because we've already seen it redevelop once. It moved inland, moved back, and then now it's going to move back inland. Now, watching the wave heights, you could get a hint of the development in the Caribbean here. The next few days, things are going to be a little bit more settled in the waters. And then as we go forward here, this here is Monday, this here is Tuesday. Right there, things are going to start to build in the Western Caribbean. This is based on the American model, and you can see the seas building. Not a whole lot yet, but that's a sign that, yeah, something is going to try to at least spin up somewhat in the Western Caribbean. By spin up, I mean try to at least gradually develop. Now, here's the leftovers of Helene and just causing all sorts of problems. Watching the Atlantic region of Canada, most of the action is off to the east, and then watching what is left of Isaac. Isaac will, what's going to happen with Isaac is it's going to turn into something more subtropical, but still potentially a big wind maker as it moves its way toward parts of Europe down the road, but not seeing anything yet that is going to threaten Bermuda or the Atlantic region of Canada. So the stuff coming off of Africa sometimes does, but I'm seeing that kind of turn a little bit sooner. Now, as far as the rain total is concerned, these feeder bands stretching into Helene still could drop some rain, but with this disturbance moving through parts of the Caribbean, anywhere from Jamaica, Eastern Cuba, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, we'll see some spots getting 50 millimeters of rain or 2 inches of rain. That's the same disturbance that is going to add the moisture in the atmosphere to allow something to potentially develop early next week. Same thing in Puerto Rico. Scattered showers and storms will be a possibility. Hit or miss Antigua, Barbuda, Martinique, Barbados, Trinidad. We could get a couple passing showers and storms, and if we get some, that could give us 25 millimeters of rain to about 1 inch of rain. And watching out for some of these higher totals in spots in Central America. This here is with John off my charts. Again, over 200 millimeters of rain, upwards of 6 to 8 inches of rain, plus with John. But Guatemala, Honduras, inland, Nicaragua, western side, parts of Costa Rica and Panama, there is that flood potential. Let me know what you're getting or not getting in the comments. You get north of Mexico City and then back through Texas, it is a whole lot drier. Parts of Texas and parts of Mexico definitely need to get some rain. So scattered areas of rain and storms. The next few days, it's going to be unsettled in Jamaica, not all day, but if you do get a storm, we're going to see a couple of those on the strong side. Cayman Islands, you see some scattered storms possible too with that disturbance, especially by Sunday. Scattered showers possible. Trinidad and Tobago, a 40% chance and a 30 to 40% chance today through the weekend in Barbados. St. Lucia, a 40% chance both Saturday and Sunday. Rain chance 40 to 50% the next 3 days in Grenada. Looking at about a 60% chance today, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, then down to about a 40% chance tomorrow. 30 to 40% chance of seeing some showers in Martinique this weekend. 30 to 40% chance in Dominica. Next couple of days, some scattered showers and storms possible in Guadeloupe. And about a 40 to 50% chance through the weekend, Antigua and Barbuda. St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, rain chance 50% today, 30% tomorrow, 40% chance on Sunday, and a 30 to 40% chance Anguilla and St. Bart's, 30 to 40% chance St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, and about a 60% chance of scattered showers and storms today in Puerto Rico. That could lead to some isolated areas of flooding, some scattered showers possible as well. British and U.S. Virgin Islands, 30 to 40% chance in the Bahamas. Just watching some of those feeder bands filtering into Helene, which is up to the northwest. Turks and Caicos, 20 to 30% chance. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms possible in the Dominican Republic, and even a few the next couple days in Haiti. Could see a couple thunderstorms passing by. Rain chance 30% today in Belize. By Sunday, though, we're up to about a 50% chance. 30% chance in Aruba, and we did have some showers overnight. 30% chance in Curacao, so we're going to see a slightly better chance of some showers the next couple of days. Guyana, the rain chance not too high, a 20% chance. About a 10% chance in Suriname, and watching out for some scattered thunderstorms and scattered showers as we work our way through Cuba for the upcoming weekend. But Costa Rica, Panama, watching out for some spots of flooding. Nicaragua, watching out for some spots of flooding like we've had. About a 40% chance of rain in Honduras, mainly in our western zones. Guatemala and El Salvador, that rain chance picking up. So watching out for those dangerous river crossings as some of the water will be rising spots. Mexico City, scattered showers and storms. Drier to the north. Yucatan Peninsula could get some scattered showers, about a 50% chance. Northern Colombia, 40 to 50% chance. 40% chance over the next 2 days in northern Venezuela, and watching out for a chance of some spotty showers, better chance on Sunday as we work our way into Bermuda. So 2 new areas to watch, one off the coast of Africa. We're going to see what could become Joyce and even an area behind that. And then the Western Caribbean once again as this very active pattern continues. So this area has not developed yet in the Western Caribbean, but there are some signs something may develop. Where it goes, too early to tell. Nothing's even developed at this point, but I'm watching how the environment is coming together, and I'll be fine-tuning the development of this as we go throughout the weekend together. I really hope you're doing well. I hope you're safe after all of this tropical activity. I'm thinking of you. Have a good rest of your day.